Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis, server 68. Today, looking at Matthias. Gonna look at the best siege gear, PvP. Obviously, because you don't use siege generals against monsters. It will hurt you. So, this is what used to be the best gear for a siege general. You have the Courageous Achaemenid ring, and this used to be the most important gear in all of Evony because of the siege range bonus right here. 10%. That's something you can't get anywhere else. It lets your siege machines attack from 10% further than they used to. Most people's wall generals had the same ring, so it ended up balancing out. But if either side didn't have that, then it was, a disadvantage for the other player. You could see here the ring also has siege attack. And then because you have two pieces of Achaemenid on, you get the bonus of 10%. Now, if we look down, 4 pieces or 6 pieces, it doesn't really help you. I guess the 6-piece debuff would, but if we look at the heirs, right here, the 2-piece helps you for 15% attack. So you're going to want 2 heirs on as well. So 15% attack is better than 15% debuff. Now, once you have that, you have to have at least one other piece of Achaemenid gear to get that buff. This one, these boots, don't really do much. They just debuff, but the heirs boot options don't really do much for you either. Actually, you know what? I'm going to double check that. But this chest piece, siege attack, 22%. Siege defense, 22%. The axe, you have to have this, siege attack, 45%. The pants, courageous heirs, 22%. And the helmet, 22% siege attack. Now, let's go into the forge. I just want to double check, make sure that the heirs boots aren't better. I believe that they actually, it was equal. No boots helped. No boots benefited siege. So that's why people went with Achaemenid. Let's just make sure here. So actually right here, courageous boots do help siege HP. So siege HP, courageous boots. Let me check and see if I actually have those sitting around on any other general. I don't think I do, or else I would have them on. And the reason I didn't do that, let's see what these are. These are fearless, so those wouldn't help. So, oh, we have another heirs there. Right there, courageous heirs. So I could put those on my siege general. So this is actually something that I should do right now. And I'm actually not going to use these specific boots. I'm going to make new ones because those were crafted for my Amir to raid. So the reason I never actually made any courageous boots for my siege was because I was always waiting on new gear for the civilization gear. And I was waiting for the siege gear, and I don't like to do things twice. So I had a long-term plan, but my long-term plan changed when my short-term plan began to be no more coining. So this is right here, the free PvP guide for Matthias, or sorry, for any siege general. Courageous ring, courageous Achaemenid chest piece, and then you got courageous Ares, fearless Ares, and the Ares axe. Now, we'll take this off, and we're going to put the other boots on right now, and we're going to craft new ones for him in a bit. And we'll just put these back on Amir, and now we're going to look at what you would put on if you do spend money. And just a little tip here for Amir, the reason why I don't have helmet and pants on him is because none of those things help troop load, and I only use him to attack for troop load. But given that I do have excess materials, I'll just show you those right now. This is where you guys will all end up. You can see here, everything is just lots and lots of materials. So this is where you guys will end up in another year or two and you'll just have so many materials you don't have anything to do with them. So let's look at the civilization gear. And basically, there's only a few pieces that work for siege. It's a very limited set of gear. And we can look here. This is all in the Abbas section. So the Abbas set, you can look, it has range, siege, attack, 15% for the 2-piece bonus. If you have 4 of them, you get the rally. And basically, that's it. So we look at the Abbas mace. This has siege, attack. The ring, this has now become, or the bracers, this has now become the most important gear in the game, along with the choreo set. So this would be the second most important, because choreo defense, you're going to use it more often. So the siege attack range right here is 15%, which is higher than the 10% the Achaemenid used to give you. So it is a must-have. And then the helmet gives you siege HP, siege defense for the armor, siege defense and siege HP for the pants, and siege attack for the boots. Now, the ones that you really have to put on is the bracers, the mace, the pants, and the chest piece for the defense and the attack. Then you have options. Personally, I believe that the helmet and the boots should go on your archer general if you have both of these pieces, because of the range attack and the 2-piece buff. So if you do have both of those pieces, then you should just go with the Ares boots and Ares helmet. And that would give you a nice set, a nice 2-piece set of the Ares attack and the 4-piece buff, 2 and 4-piece buff of the Abbas. There is also, if we look down right here on the Freedom set, it has a 25% attack buff for 2-piece set. But if we look at all the pieces here, there's really nothing that benefits siege. So it's pretty hard to justify putting on any of these pieces to get that 25% when you can do other pieces that are more suited. And that's really it. There is some other random pieces like this helmet, siege HP, not as good as what you're going to get with the Ares helmet and boot combination, because these boots don't do much for you. So basically what you're looking at is a full pay-to-win set right here. And if you don't have it, mix and match with the free set here with the Ares Courageous boots, not the ones I have on there. But you know what I'll do right here, just to make sure that I am doing things correctly, I am going to craft some Courageous Ares boots right now. These are the ones with siege HP. Let's craft them, and now we'll put those on our general and have the correct setup. So that's the guide for siege. Soon I'm going to do mounted. There's 2 mounted that are coming up, because there's one for bosses and one for PvP. And you could also do a hybrid where it works for both, which is what most people are doing if they didn't spend the full amount for the highest level of gear, which would be the weapon, which is just devastating against monsters. If you didn't see my archer or ground or wall, go back. I do have them in the videos, and like I said, I'll be doing mounted coming up. And so let me know in the comments what you guys are running on your siege general. You have any different thoughts than I do? I think it's pretty standard. Siege is one of those ones where it's really not complicated at all. Evony made it pretty easy for all of us. Wish they did that with all the different sets. Just a little note for all of you. Before, a long time ago, Evony was actually, they were contemplating releasing full sets of gear that were just for one troop type. So here is some graphics that Evony released. They tried on beta, I think. about a year and a half ago, before they released all of these civilization gears, this is what was rumored to be coming out. Look at this. Range attack, range defense, range troop HP, and then range troop HP again, but they'd probably change that to march size or something. No, instead they change it to something like mounted defense. And then here's the other one. So the 6-piece buff, range attack, range defense, range HP. So Evony did originally plan to release something like this. But my guess is Evony will release this next. So they want to release all these complicated gears that annoy people and you got to mix and match. And then their next set that they're going to release in like a year is going to be something like this. It's really annoying that they didn't just do this straight up. Any other game would just do it straight up, especially in a game where you don't mix and match rallies. It's all one troop type. So anyways, let's see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you guys are running. This is Genghis Server 68. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.